Thank you for tuning in to Black Star Sports TV. Please take this time to subscribe to the channel. After the video, please like, comment, share the video. Here it is. Here it is, man. The big fight day. Earl the Truth Spence versus Terrence Bud Crawford, man, for undisputed at 147. We've been talking about this fight for over 5 years now, and it's finally here. A fight that I didn't think was ever going to happen. I just didn't feel like it was going to get made, but it is here, and I am, oh my God, I'm so beyond excited. I don't know how to even express it right now. But now it's time for me to give my analyzation and my pick as who is going to win this fight tonight. If you tuned into me and seen me around about these YouTube streets, you know kind of a little bit how I feel. But let me go into it a little bit in depth there in a little bit different ways here. And also help the Bud fans out on what some things that Bud can do tonight. First of all, man, I mean, the press conference, the tour, the weigh-in, everything that these guys have done. And I really appreciate the brotherhood that these guys have exemplified in this fight week here and everything. Things could really, and I don't agree with everything that Terrence Bud Crawford says, but when he said the other day about how when we get together and everything, keeping things a certain way, was an important message. And they really did exemplify. They shook hands at the final weigh-in there and the final face-off. And now it's time to get down. It's time to get to business now. And this is what it's all about, man, being professional. This fight is fought on many levels, man, and now it's time to get to the real business, because they went through the negotiations. They went through all this pre-fight hype and the shit talking and in the back and the forth and all of that type of things. They did the face-off, the weigh-in, all the questions, all the prodding, and us fans, we've been eating it up, man. So it was a lot of people there at the weigh-in, and this should be a successful fight. But if you haven't bought the pay-per-view, please take this time to also buy this pay-per-view. Buy a T-shirt, bumper sticker, whatever you got to do. Support these brothers and what they're doing, because what they're doing in boxing now is phenomenal, man. UFC has a card tonight. Nobody even knows. I haven't even heard. I just found this out 2 seconds ago. That's how bad boxing is crushing UFC right now. You see what I'm saying? In its rightful place, where it's supposed to be anyway. It's the moneymaker. It's the king. All that other stuff is fairy tales. Well, anyway, Earl Truth Spence tonight, man. I tell you, man, watching this man's journey all this time, man, and getting to where he is now has been really phenomenal. He said he wanted to do this, and he told the world how he was going to go about it and all the steps he was going to take. And a man true to his word, he's done just that. Took him down all the champions, and there's only one left. And, I was in Dallas when he said, I got these belts, and Terrence will come to take your shit. And here he is. He's coming to take your shit, Terrence. Now, what you going to do, Terrence? What can Terrence do? We've been asking Bud Crawford fans for years now. All they say, he going to knock him out. He going to knock him out. But they never have a way of telling you how or whatever, right? And even the fact that it's acceptable that he has the power to knock out Earl Spencer, we've never even seen get really shake or rattled in any type of major way, is really amazing to me. But, yet they say that. After really thinking about it, Bud Crawford, there's a few things that Bud can do. Bud can, he's going to have to move. He can't stand there. He's not going to be able to stand there and bang with Earl. Not for the longevity. Maybe in spots he can get away with it. Now, the thing about it is he's going to have to move. He's going to have to tie up every time that Earl gets engaged and really gets the teeing off on him. He's going to have to do that all night. He's going to have to be able to do that all night. Does he have the gas tank for that? Now that he put this extra weight on, he was, actually overweight. He made weight, but he came in overweight in the beginning, so he's struggling. There's a little struggle there. So to what degree is that, So we'll see how that plays in the factor. But that's the only thing I can see that him doing that can lead to him having any victory, because if he stays in there and he wants to be this dog that everybody claims him to be, it's not going to end well for him. Not for the longevity, And that's about all I can tell you about Bud Crawford. But now let's get to Earl Spence. And if you haven't guessed by now, yes, I do. I have Earl Spence winning this fight tonight. The man's been on a mission, and he's done everything that he said he was going to do. And to this day, I have no reason not to believe this young man. And I've been proud of the journey, the way that he's carried himself, he's conducted himself. Both of these guys really, they both family men, and they're really good examples of two young, determined black men that's going out here to strive for greatness. And I commend them for that. But here's the reasons why I have Earl Spence winning this fight. All the concessions that was made that he gave up. And he waited a year because he really had to have this fight. And he showed the world beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's the one that truly wanted this fight. He gave Bud Crawford everything he could ask for, right down to a coin flip. There has never been a time in boxing. I am 52 years old. I have never seen them flip a coin in boxing at any time, in any match, at any level. I've never seen this. For this to be implemented, it was really foolish, but, hey, he agreed to it so the fight could be. You even see Earl tell him, hey, man, you should thank me for making this fight because of all the concessions that he made, But that's just part of it. Knowing that that's there, knowing that the guys work hard, he all of the lessons that he learned through his life, through the accident, training, having fat camps before fights and everything, all that stuff seemed to be cleared up. So Earl Spence should be at his best tonight. And I expect nothing less. He's going to go out there and he's going to be aggressive. And he's got to manage. He always does a great job of managing space. And if he stays inside the space, stay inside with Bud. Don't let Bud get too much space because Bud can't operate unless he has space. At least that's where he's comfortable. He's more comfortable there. So the more that you stay in that space and you're in there and you're able to just touch him, like Earl Spence does, man. He just like Earl. They asked Earl, what do you got to do? He said, just be me. And I agree with that. I do agree with that. And, there's a lot of questions that need to be asked. Can Earl take Bud's power? Is Bud power what everybody's saying it is? On the other hand, can Bud Crawford, how does his body? How's he to the chin? I've seen him wobble a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? So there's some tests, there's some questions that we're going to have answered tonight. Who's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world? It is the winner of this fight right here. Monster Inoue did a great job the other day and everything, and I give him kudos for it. But he's not the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Not even, no. I can't, not at this time. Couldn't give him that distinction. Maybe in the future, we'll see. But anyway, as long as Earl stays inside, works the body, does what Earl normally does on the inside, man. It stays inside, pops that jab. See, that jab is the one thing, the biggest misnomer of this fight. We know that Bud Crawford, likes to move and be crafty and swift, and he's pretty with it. Uppercuts, hooks, off there trying to catch you, Earl Spence has good defense. He's fundamentally sound. He picks off a lot of shots. So if he can maintain that standard of picking off shots and being, defensively responsible, at the same time being aggressive, and, his consistency, his work rate, that higher punch rate is another thing that's going to be a detriment to Bud because Bud doesn't work at that type of pace. Now, having to be forced to fight a fight at that pace, can he maintain it? Can he keep up with it? That's the ultimately big question there, and it's one of the biggest reasons why I have Earl Spence defeating Bud Crawford tonight. Not that Bud Crawford is not a good fighter. All these people wouldn't be saying what they're saying if he was just mud. But I just feel like this fighter here is just a kryptonite to what this guy does. And what he does is flashy and it's what you want to see in a boxing gym. And these are the things that get you excited about a fighter. But, that's what these styles are for, just like Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard, the first fight. Sugar Ray went in there, got his ego trapped into the fight with Duran and fought Duran's fight. Duran ultimately wins the fight. You see, could that be the case tonight? We know that Bud Crawford, everybody says he's a dog. He's a dog, and he likes to get his lick back when he get hit. Well, this would be the fight where it would get to him enough to where he would overextend himself in that area and leave himself susceptible to taking more damage than he would normally take. And how much damage can he take? Because he's never really been in any distress, right? So how will he respond? You see? So that's the battle that we have really going on tonight. But as I say, I got Earl Spence winning this fight, and I believe he'll probably stop him. Yeah, I believe he'll probably stop him. It's either going to be the 8th or 10th round, but somewhere in between there, it's going to be a stoppage. I had it a little sooner earlier, but I pushed it back, man, because I have to give Bud credit on his. He looked phenomenal. He came in a little over, but he's a little bigger than I was giving him credit for in the beginning. So, you know, you have to adjust that a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. But I still see if the fight flows that way, the ending should still remain the same, and Earl the Truth Spence should be the undisputed champion of the world tonight. Please tune in. Man, that's all I've got. Black Star Sports TV.